It's after 9 o'clock, and nobody seems in too much of a hurry to get the lift. Why? We got to go out the door, and not in a hurry Tuesday. Tuesdays are good if you can get them, but I prefer temperatures above 0 Fahrenheit. Hey, they turned off that snow gun just a short time ago, and they had literally water coming out of it. I mean, it was such a dense pile of snow. It was just steaming. Can you see this a little bit? You can't quite see it, but it's steaming because the pile of snow is much warmer and wetter than the rest of the atmosphere, and the snow guns are the reason the treetops here are caked in ice. And there is the waning gibbous cold moon. Fittingly, here are the regional temperatures, even after 7 a.m. I think Saranac Lake was down to 24 below. New York, Island Pond, Vermont was down to about 21 below. And these temperatures are record lows or record challenging lows from the years. Let's see if I can get this straight. 2002, 1989, and 1902. In 1902, I think we were sub-zero all the way into southern New England, where this morning it wasn't quite as cold as Friday morning. But for most of us, this morning is colder than Friday morning. We'll look at Mount Washington right now, where on Friday it was 21 below 0 and the wind was gusting over 100, whereas yesterday when the Arctic air was coming in, we only got down to about 17 below. So the air mass not quite as cold. So what happened last night to make it so cold was the high pressure system that came over New England. Here was the 7 a.m. WPC weather map, and you had a 1026 high, really of Arctic origins, over the Northeast, and that stretches from Maine to Mississippi. We didn't have any records in Mississippi, but it was a freeze all the way down with a frost advisory in effect parts of Texas and all the way to Georgia this morning. And this is the second plunge of Arctic air in 5 days. Record low temperatures. This is the record low temperature map. You can see this at coolwx.com/record. And all these areas in the Northeast matching temperatures from 1989, 2002. And most of the records do not go back to 1902. But so you get the point here. It is too cold to go skiing right this second. And snow is squeaky. And this snow is really dense. So what they're going to do is they're going to turn off the snow guns. And there is a little lift right over there, the village lift. And you are going to be able to ski down from the upper mountain down to the village here at Smugglers Notch, where we're not in any hurry today to get out there. Everyone's showing their pictures of their car thermometers this morning. It was actually warmer up in the hills. The temperature up on top of Mount Washington was warmer than the temperature down in the valley. It was 21 below in Whitefield. So what's going to happen next? That surface map, let's take it out now to this afternoon. And there's a warm front coming at us. You got to always watch the backside of these high pressure systems. This warm front is going to generate snow for northern New England. This has been a moving target for some time now with a dissipating wave of energy coming at us, but it will snow a couple of inches late today, tonight. That's that light blue. But notice the wave train of low pressure systems strung out along a front that's stalled from about Maine. It doesn't really draw it there. It draws it more from Michigan to Minnesota, and then draped across the northern states on the border with Canada, with one after another systems, with the atmospheric river coming off the Pacific Ocean, and all that energy aimed fast from west to east. But how it plays out in New England is a real tough call. So why don't we just start with, well, I wanted to show the national advisories, watches, and warnings that kind of goes with that. And all that gold from Montana to North Dakota is wind advisory. Winter storm warning now from Minnesota down into Wisconsin. You've got the frost in South Texas and also South Georgia. So just an incredibly cold map. Oh, and incidentally, there's record warmth in Washington and Oregon with that flow in off the Pacific and just flooding rains coming into the Northwest. So you're going to have the battle of air from east of Hawaii coming across the nation and meeting up with air from Siberia coming over the North Pole into southern Canada and New England over the next 10 days. And it looks like we may get little intervals of blue sky, but for the most part, it is now going to be cloudy and snowing and or raining pretty much every 12 to 18 hours with brief intervals in between, and the temperature's going to remain cold like 1989. Let's start with the HRRR, and because this was a little late this morning, I got to see the 12Z run, and there's the little bit of blue coming in this afternoon, and the thickness is rising, 516, 522. It's warm air advection. It's a warm front, so the temperature goes up in some spots, maybe 20 to 40 degrees, and now from 20 below, up 40 degrees is only 20 above up here in northern New England, and with that layer of snow kind of shutting off, not much for southern New England, and then as quickly as the warmer air tries to come in, tomorrow we may get to 40 degrees or better in southern New England, but here comes a cold front, and this is going to generate, it's a wave on the front, but it looks like that wave's going to go right across just to the north of Vermont, but it's still cold enough that that's a period of heavy snow coming in late tomorrow night, and Thursday morning. And in that, we'll have probably about 6 to 8 hours of snow that could be a ½ inch per hour. So a quick 4 inches of snow for a lot of us. And this includes the lower elevations in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, and New York, and Ontario, and Quebec. And then this goes out now to 7 a.m. on Thursday. And all it shows there is lake effect snow. So in other words, HRRR says it's going to be very dry with confluent flow aloft. And that says it's not snowing at J. I'm not sure I quite believe it, but you see the 510 thickness dipping down towards Lake Ontario, and then the 504 to the north. That's another plunge of Arctic air aimed at us for Thursday into Friday. And if we run the snowfall accumulation that goes along with that, there's your little bit coming in this afternoon and tonight, maybe an inch or two this evening here in Jeffersonville, Vermont, and points north and east. And then there's a lull, and then here comes the sort of blast of moderate to heavy snow with a wave of low pressure. So it's going to be kind of a combination second warm front, wave of low pressure, and cold front that's generating this next batch of snow with parts of central New York looking like they're going to get 10 to 15-inch snow there with the brighter big purple blob. And then you have only the small purple blobs up and down the Green Mountains, all the way down to the border with Massachusetts, and in the White Mountains, those purple blobs. This, again, only goes out to 12Z, 7 a.m. on Thursday. 6 to 8 inches of snow at most areas. I'll take the over, though, for the upslope in Mount Mansfield and Jay, even though it shows a dry Thursday. I'm not quite certain of that. I think most of us will be dry, but I bet somehow it's going to find a way to keep on snowing in the mountains up here. And then we're going to go to the 10-day forecast now, and it is a huge challenge. Yesterday, all the global guidance had any weekend action missing us to the south, and today, all the global guidance says that weekend action is lifting more toward the north. In fact, so much so that it could rain at the south coast. And that was kind of what we were thinking, that weekend system would shift north. So here is the Euro. It's probably the worst case scenario for cold and storminess. The GFS was a little weaker, and the Canadian was having rain for most of New England on Saturday and Sunday. So that's why I didn't show those maps. Anyhow, there's our 1-2 punch coming in today and tomorrow, and then there's the cold air advection, very windy again on Thursday night and Friday. The upper low is there, and I think it's going to start snowing again on Mount Mansfield and Jay Peak. Otherwise, the thicknesses again are going down to 504 again in northern New England, so some record cold possible, but you don't see any high pressure. That would be record cold on top of Mount Washington because it's low barometer cold, and you have a couple of buckling episodes there in the jet stream. So what I mean is the northern stream is going to dip south and grab the southern stream. There's a 1,011 millibar low now at 1 a.m. on Sunday, and that is racing to the northeast and deepening rapidly. And again, I think this is a worst case scenario. The Euro would have that low going right over Cape Cod and Nantucket as a 995 bomb cyclone. And I'm going to stop it here now as that goes by and out into the Gulf of Maine, leaving snow for most of New England. And it's a 978 low. And again, the Euro often overdoes these low pressure centers, but that would be minus 29 millibars in 24 hours. That would be bomb cyclone number 2 for the month of December. In November, we had 3 of them the first 10 days of November. And this has a lot to do with the Greenland block, the supply of Arctic air, and that flow from east of Hawaii, all merging right here in the Northeast, where we have the most interesting weather on Earth. And I think that's overdone, and I think we are going to end up with precipitation in New England on Sunday, mostly in the form of snow, but I doubt it's going to be that strong a storm, so we'll have to play the day by day on that as it gets a little closer and we get a little more confident. And then we'll keep that going after Monday. Another Arctic plunge comes in here Sunday night. That's Monday night into Tuesday. And you have a big warm wave coming across the middle of the nation, but we managed to keep on getting these fronts coming out of Canada. And there's another system coming at us on Tuesday into Wednesday. Now this goes out to Thursday, December 18th. And I can't exactly remember what's going on there. I just know that we have a bunch of blue lines over us. And there's another, I think, front coming. Although it had been, there's a front going right over us, isn't there? That's another combination warm front, cold front. A lot like what's happening this Thursday happens again next Thursday. And we've been saying Thursdays are the days of the front. And boy, have they been lately. And all right, so that's the end of the weather part, I guess. We call Tuesdays good if you can get them, because all last winter, sorry, T-Rex isn't here, but T-Rex and I would go out at Mount Mansfield, and on Tuesday, the wind and the snow would have shut off, and it would have been very cold with a powder day. But I think this is a little too cold. I'm happy to see that you went up to the mountain, Carl Weller, and you got that first turns. We're waiting for midday here. We'll take a couple of leftover groomers. Tuesdays are good if you can get them. Yesterday and more, a compilation of what we were doing here at Smugglers, and I was out there talking to Weir, and Tony was up in the room making a video of me talking to Weir. So we have a 2-camera interview with Weir Lundstedt on the conditions yesterday. And then later in the day, Josh Worth went at Jay. The sun was out at Jay. He said it was a great day, but he called it cold as sin at Jay Peak. Thank you, Josh, for sharing that. And then at the end of the day, I went out and I explored this pile. I thought that pile right there, those are my footprints from yesterday. I slid down it. Thought that was a big pile. And then they kept the guns going all night on that one. That has got to be, I don't know, it's up. I'm on the 3rd-story deck, and that touches almost the bottom of this deck. So that's a 2-story pile of snow that will be smoothed out, so the people that vacation here during the winter and live here during the winter at Smugglers Notch will be able to come all the way down the mountain and put their skis right into their units right here. Little playground right there, country store over there. I think we're going to finish it out next to the country store where there's a fire in the evening. So it's called Yesterday's Weather Today. Appreciate all the new viewers and comments. I tried to get in there and respond to a few of your comments. We'll do more of that as I find some free time somehow. Before yesterday's and more, we'll go out this door again. I wanted to show this image from the Boston Webcam of the first little bits of ice on the Charles River in Boston. It's another one of our webcams, another one that's streaming on that New England Live Cam stream that everyone asks about, that Michael McCormick set up, and also just to get a little different view of those piles of snow from over here and the guns that are still going. And Weir had a request. Oh, maybe I should go talk to them about the snowmaking. Weir had a request to see what the temperature was in the Bronco, which drives great in the snow, by the way. Unlike the van that does not have heated steering wheels. I thought it wasn't going to start there. This does have a heated steering wheel and seat, but the Transit does not. All right, processing. Where is the temperature? Okay, it's +4 here. The temperature is going up rapidly. Does the window work in this kind of chill? Oh yeah. All right. Yesterday's weather today, and more. One person's going out into the chill.
I got everything heated up.
How's this working? Like, we're meeting you there?
No, I'll come back. I'll come back in.
The chipmunk. See the chipmunk? Oh, by the way, how much snow do we get?
I'd say at least 6.
6 inches.
I would measure right down there.
Nice ride you got there. Going up there. Sun's coming out. High pressure comes in, wind goes lighter. I'm waiting for lunch call. We're clean up the roof, will you? And more. Noontime. They're moving the snow around, cleaning it up. Mother Nature has cleaned out the clouds. The sun is shining. And the high pressure comes in. The wind is letting up. But Weir must be having a lot of fun. He's been up there for more than 2 hours in the chill. So he's scoring. We'll hear from Weir for back to work Monday. I'm not working very hard unless you count editing and stuff like that. Please play skis and ski racks in hallway. Sure, they're around there somewhere. Let's go out the door at noontime. It's not quite noon. And, well, without the wind, it makes a huge difference. Here's the density of the snow we just got. We'll hear from Weir in a moment here. And how about a measurement where it hasn't been disturbed here with some sunshine on the ruler? All right, just shy of 6. So give it a little settling factor when you have temperature in the single numbers. It's very low density snow. There's Tony. Tony, say hello. That's our room up there. Tony's our host. He can't hear me. And they're just making these huge piles of snow over here. I guess so we can ski back to our unit, right? You get Go up the hill. There's Tony taking a picture of me, taking a picture of him up there. Hi. All right, where's Weir? Let's find Weir. I'll take off my gloves. Zoom in. Yeah, there he is. And there's the icicles. And the snow gun. Oh, we forgot to mention, all the way up yesterday, Weir was talking about some optical phenomena possible with some refraction of sunlight off of ice crystals. And looks like you verified, Weir. And there he is. Not TK Weather Experience fan, but the TK try another Ford. See how that works in the snow. Looks like there's a rainbow. Can you get rainbows when it's snowing?
It was super cool border drop that they talked about.
Super cooled. Speaking of super cooled, how do you...
Cow day.
Cow day. You've been out there for 2 hours.
Yeah, not bad.
Did you keep warm?
Yeah, my fingertips are a little chilly now, even with heated gloves, so all good.
How are the conditions? Tell us about it. What'd you do?
Good. Really light blower type powder. So, you know, you can go down and sometimes hit some harder stuff because there's, I mean, it was, 6 to 8 inches, I'd say, easy.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, really light, fun, but you got to be careful if you go in the trees.
Did you make any videos for us?
No, I didn't.
You didn't, because you don't want to freeze your fingers. Exactly.
3 degrees right now on the car. I
3.
forgot to look this morning, but I'm sure it was.
You were skiing in some sub-zero. At least the air stopped
Actually,
moving.
You know what? The wind on that lift, Sterling lift, was not bad at all.
Oh, good.
It was almost behind you, but yeah.
How was the lift lines?
Lift lines? No lift lines.
Lunchtime.
Yeah.
There's Tony making a video of us making a video. Cleaning the snow off Tony's car, and I notice these tracks, some critters that go beneath the snow. I did see, I think it was a chipmunk going across the parking lot earlier. So I'd love to see that. They have tunnels underneath the snow and live underneath those bushes probably for the winter. Probably warmer there.
So this is my close friend, Tim. Out the door with Tim Kelly, and I told him that he had to clean off my car or he was not allowed to stay the rest of the night. So I have him cleaning my car, and when he comes in shortly, he'll be doing my laundry. I love Tim.
We're here at Smugglers Notch. They're actually blowing snow into the units here on lift side. Yeah, it's snowing indoors today. That's how cold it is. So cold, it's snowing indoors. And I have yet to take her on. 22. We're leaving. No, I'm kidding. We're going to go up the hill to go skiing here.
Yeah.
I guess that's the way it works. Looks good. Smugglers Notch, Vermont, America's family resort. 1.5 miles down the hill. Unless you're going up the hill. 1:30. Very low sun. Closing in on the winter solstice. That lift is not open. That's Madonna. And then Sterling is over there.
That was awesome.
Finally, we're going to see a little sun. This is such a north-facing lift. Very little sun. And look at all the snow on the trees. The wind has really died down. And I think a lot of this is also rime frost. And the temperature feels sub-zero to me. What do you guys think? Ready? Look over there and see if you can't get a sun tan. Or less of a cold burn. All right, that's Madonna. We're on Sterling. Tiny bit of passive solar here at 1:30, 2 o'clock, actually, I think, in the afternoon. It's been 20 years since I've been up here. We're at Lunstead in the shade. Let's get into the sun. Oh yeah, it's a lot warmer over here. North, sunshine, and here's Mount Mansfield right up there. That's the chin of Mount Mansfield on the other side of the notch. Downhill around here somewhere. Don't blame you for not making a video. It's too cold. 2:45. My legs got a little burned, but that's about it. Nothing else got burned. Just frigid. Pretty here though, isn't it? Beautiful. Smugglers Notch, America's family resort.
I don't know, is he 70 years old? He's in better shape than all of us.
Indoors now, looking up at Madonna. That part of the mountain's not open yet. Grooming has begun at 3 o'clock. My toes are somewhat defrosted, not quite. Still working on that. I think if we go down the hill, we might be able to see the sun a little bit longer, but otherwise we're gonna have to close this out now. Radiational cooling, the moon's gonna come up kind of late, so we're not gonna be able to see that. Unless we climb way up there at midnight. Is this the way home? This is how we get home? Knee deep, knee deep. Weir's face is all white. How come yours isn't frostbitten?
It's Italian skin. It's very supple, soft.
Hey, you want to walk up there and get some lines?
No, I'll wait for them to turn the lift on. I'll come back in a month. Hey, you got a water park over there. I don't think it's open today. 4 degrees, 3:30, and it's this dark already. Next week, the sun starts coming up a minute later.
All right, TK out and about. Look at that pile. What not to do. No way.
How's the view up there? Oh my goodness. So that pile over there is pretty solid and you can slide down it. And then over here, it's practically water. I mean, the temperature's close to 0. So they're just putting out the biggest drops of water possible to make the highest density snow possible. Look at, even at this temperature, there's been some dripping.
TK out in a raging blizzard.
The water content. It's mostly water.
Look at this raging blizzard. Jim right now fighting to stay alive. You can see just incredible. Oh, wait a minute. It's not real.
Pretty amazing, the technology. HKD guns. You can make snow of all the different densities. And when you make it with this much water content, it's gonna last a long time, I think is how it works. I'm not a snowmakerologist, but see the difference in the texture. Okay, and when it gets mowed out, it can absorb a lot more rain without melting and still having a decent texture to it. So it's all the science. I don't claim to know the most about the science, but you know what we do here? We call the play-by-play. And it is a cold night, great groomers, and most of the guidance, the weather guidance came in with snow for most of New England a couple of times, and especially southern New England, stepping very carefully, on Saturday and Sunday. Was that still there? Did I say, wow, confidence is building that even southern New England gets some snow this weekend? Just will not stop. I was thinking about calling it right here, but I think instead I'm gonna just go find some more pretty lights to go with the piano music. Pretty quiet around here right now. I think there's a hot tub over there somewhere. This is fine. Let's close it out with this. You can see the air and water mixing. Out the door. Weather and more. Thanks for watching. Talk to you tomorrow. Wednesdays are good if you can get them too. There's some pretty lights. And even though it's a clear sky, those snow guns are sending some little bits of snow all the way over to the fire that is sparsely populated. It's still kind of pre-season here. Mountain Grill not open today. Come back on a Friday. Trust me, it's not snowing. Those are the snow guns that I can't even see from here. And there are your pretty lights. Here just before 5 o'clock. No, actually it's only 4:30. Maybe the clock is accurate. Welcome to America's Family Resort. Smugglers Notch, Vermont. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you tomorrow.